With all this multiplying and dividing you've been doing with decimals, it's time we put it to action. These are word problems, many of which have decimals, not all do, and they involve both multiplication and division. Let's start in with number 4. It's interesting they use the metric system in their measurements. They use liters for the gas and they use kilometers for his driving. We use gallons for gas and we use miles when we're driving. I wonder if this was made in Europe somewhere. I should check into that. I love this series. Anyhow, regardless. Sue paid $15.54 for gas. The gas cost 37 cents per liter. How many liters did she buy? We will start with the full amount she paid. We will divide the amount she paid for every liter. And that will tell us how many liters that was. So this is a division. First, because we have a decimal in the divisor, we're going to have to move the decimal. There are 2 spaces to the right of the decimal, so we'll move it over 2 spaces to make 37. And so we also have to move it over 2 spaces here then. And when we do that, that becomes a whole number. So I went ahead and I rewrote it. 1,554 divided by 37. 37 goes into 1 0 times. It goes into 15 0 times. But it goes into 155. I'm going to guess 3 goes into 15 5 times. So I'm going to guess 4. Because this is almost 40. I'm pretty confident about it, so I'm going to go ahead and work it out here. If I weren't so confident, I would write it to the side. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 3 is 12. 13, 14. When I subtract, I've got to regroup. 4. So 15 minus 8 is 7. And 4 minus 4. Bring down the 4. Oh, I recognize this. 37 goes into 74 2 times. Okay, that worked out. I thought this would be a decimal. It's very rare that I ever go to the gas station and get an exact number of gallons. All right, so this is exactly. So I've got 0042. And since my decimal was over here, there's no decimal in it. Or it's after, whichever you want to say. So my answer is 42 liters. Look down at number 5. Jill had a 20 meter rope. These are all metric system. I'm telling you, this was done in Europe. She cut it into 8 equal pieces. How long was each piece? So you've got this long rope, and you're going to cut it in each piece, and each piece is 8 inches, or 8. No. She cut it evenly into 8 equal pieces. And what we need to find out is how long was each piece. So we've got 20 meters divided into 8 equal pieces. This will not be a whole number for sure. 8 goes into 22 times. I'm going to put my 0 here just to make sure I keep everything lined up. I subtract. So I'm going to put a decimal 0, bring down the 0. Oh, 8 goes into 40 5 times. That was nice. Got my decimal, put it straight up. So she cut it into pieces of 2.5 meters, 2 5/10 of a meter, 2.5, all the same. Now 6 and 8, I'm going to kind of do those together because they're related. They both involve someone driving to work 5 days a week, work and back. There's a slight difference. Number 6, we want to know how much she drives all week, every week. So you're going to put it all together. You want to know the full amount for a whole week. Whereas number 8, we just want to know how much per day. So let's see what information we're given. This is how far he lives from his job. And this is how far she lives from her job. He drives to and from work every day. He works 5 days a week. How far does he drive to and from work every week? I want you to look at these and tell me if you think they're right. Because they both work 5 days a week. If he works 17.4 kilometers, if he lives that far from his job, and he goes to work 5 days a week, and I multiply them together, am I going to find out how much driving he does to and from work? And on number 8, she travels a total of 60.9 kilometers the whole week, and she goes to work 5 days a week. Will this tell me how much she does each day? What do you think? One of these is set up correctly, one is not. Okay, so if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm going to tell you. Obviously, this is multiplication because you're multiplying his trip by the trips that he makes, all 5 days. This one is clearly division because you've got the total amount and you're dividing it by the number of days. Now, let me clarify one little nuance. Number 6, we know that he lives this far from work. And we know that he goes to work 5 days a week. And we want to know how many miles that is for the whole week. If I multiply it by 5, that suggests that he only goes to work, but doesn't come home. But he drives 17.4 kilometers twice a day. He drives it going to work, and he drives it coming back from work. So he doesn't just drive that 5 times. He drives it 10 times. He drives it in the morning, and then in the afternoon, and then in the morning, and then the afternoon. So Monday twice, Tuesday twice, Wednesday twice. So in order to find out how many miles for the whole week, we've got to make sure that we account for the fact that he drives that distance 2 times. So this is the one that's wrong. It should be times 10, which makes it an easier one to solve. So now, all I have to do is move the decimal. So I end up with 174. If you're not sure how I got that, I bring down the 0, and then 1 times 4, 1 times 7, 1 times 1. Then I've got 1 digit to the right, there. Or I could just say I'm multiplying by 10, I'll move the decimal to the right. That's what you do in scientific notation and when you're doing exponents with 10. This means every week he drives 174 kilometers. Number 8, she travels 5 days a week to and from work, and that's how much she travels in all. Now, it doesn't ask how far she lives away from work. It just asks how far does she drive to and from each day. So how much does she drive, how far does she drive each day? So it doesn't matter that she drives it 2 times in a day. All that matters is she drives this much in a week. How much of that is in a day? So this is straight division by 5. And of course, she'll set it up like this. That goes into 2. 1. We already have a decimal, see that? So we could just stick a 0 on the end. 5 goes into 48 times. So she travels 12.18 kilometers per day. Finally, we'll do number 7. I am not going to solve this with you. I just wanted to help you set it up. You can get the answer for this. Ted filled his gas tank with 40.2 liters of gas that costs 35 cents per liter. How much should he pay? So he got this much gas. This is how much each liter of it costs. When you multiply it out, that tells you how much he spent in all. Just remember, after you do all your multiplication, that you've got 1, 2, 3 digits to the right of your decimal. So your final product will need to have 3 digits to the right of your decimal.